The thought process of the day, as we were hiking the mountain in silence, as we always do on these high-level hikes, is about astrology. And I say astrology not because I'm here to advocate for astrology, but what it is that I'm beginning to question the reason why we don't give any credence to astrology. And not just astrology, but all ancient knowledge systems and practices, from mythology to herbalism to magic and all these other forms. When we say them or when we even think about them, we typically write them off as almost a pseudoscience or some form of inferior ways of thought, right? But if you think about the world that we've developed off of our own current ways of thought, a majority of the people are going to look at that as a failed experiment. So if you continually do the same thing wrong, but you expect for there to be a better outcome, that's insanity if that's not what I can recall. And if we look at the world that we're moving into as a failed experiment and we've changed the method or the actual input, shouldn't we be questioning the input that we're currently running with? The sciences that we're currently running with, the financial systems that we're currently running with, all of the different forms of institutionalized systems that we're developed go against our own nature and go against our own morality. That seems as what should be questioned and not ancestral knowledge. So if you think about stars as they are, stars in the sky, most of us don't even see stars because we live in cities. But if you think of stars, our ancestors have been following stars pretty much throughout time. Whether the stars were the northern stars, if you're the American African, and that's the way that you knew freedom was ahead. You follow stars as a way to guide you in terms of path, direction. Stars have always been a form of direction based. You follow the stars in order to get to a better place. So when we think about astrology now, we always think of it as some form of confusion that's just a horoscope on the internet, which actually has no credence. But that has never been the case until we create our own modern day sciences that have only got us to where we currently are. I was diving into Bitcoin with Vanessa yesterday, and we've been diving into this topic over and over again because she's a strong advocate for Bitcoin. She's like, I know this is the future. This is the creation that we needed in order to rebuild our future back better, right? And I love that idea. I love the optimism that she has for it and what she wants it to be. But then I always question, is that actually what it is though? And for me, it doesn't seem like that because it's a digital currency. And digital is used to buy reality. We always are turning everything into a product. We've turned ourselves into products. I mean, OnlyFans, YouTube, all of these different platforms, we look at ourselves as a product, as something to be sold. We look at our reality, the things that grow on this planet, you know, the gold and the houses and the people and everything has been monetized. And now we're not even giving reality for reality. Before it was, I am giving you a piece of my reality for your reality. And that allowed us to all live in this synergy of we are existing in one place together. But now we've created a dual reality, an alternative reality, an artificial reality. And because of this, you can have a family, mom, dad, brother, sister, daughter, all living inside of one house. The father is a red pill alpha. The mother is a nothing but food and yogi. The daughter is a Korean pop lover, and the son's a neo-Nazi. All living in the same house, detached from each other's reality. That has never occurred ever in society. It couldn't occur because you're basing your reality based off of where you are, but now we're living in these artificial realities, the artificial worlds, where I can be right next to you, but we're seeing two extremely different things. That has never happened before. And if you just think of that environment, that situation, that dynamic, that chemistry, it's an explosion because nobody knows who anybody is. So how can I trust you? And if I can't trust my neighbor, how dangerous is that? But the reality that our ancestors built, now that's pseudoscience. That's the crazy people because we figured this out, correct? So before we begin to demonize astrology, question the world that we've built. And if it makes sense to you, well then fair enough. But if you think that not knowing who your neighbor is, not knowing where you're supposed to do next, where you're supposed to go next, what you're supposed to do next, and so you have to outsource that form of guidance to a math equation calculator. I know it's more complex than a calculator, of course, but artificial intelligence, LLMs, large language models, ChatGPT, GARD, XAI, all of these are just math solvers. It is a reality-based system to put you into a deeper reality. And if you don't agree with the reality that you're in already, I suggest you question it. Don't just shit on astrology and mythology because it doesn't align with the reality that you're dealing with, especially if you don't agree with the reality that's being built. It's our last week in Cape Town. I love this place. It really does feel like home. Cape Town is my favorite city. Japan is my favorite country, but it's time to go. And so we fly off. On Saturday, we head to Brazil, where we're about to begin one of the bigger arcs of our existence. And I'm excited to share it with you because we live in relations to others. And because you are my tribe, I'm excited to share it with you. Modernity Podcast. We'll see you soon.